the latest news break in terms of investigation that is coming in, and we want to take our viewers through that. The black box of the Learjet in the Baramati air crash incident has now been recovered. The black box of Ajit Pawar's ill-fated plane has been found in the debris. The DGCA forensic teams have recovered it from the spot, and a lot of information will be gained right now at the back of what the black box details, and will help hopefully to solve what really went down, which led to the air crash of the charter plane, on board of which was the Deputy Chief Minister alongside 4 others. Was it technical glitch? Was there a human error behind it? Was the aircraft not fit enough, or was there operational hazards where the airstrip in Baramati is concerned? Lots has been spoken about and questions that need and should be asked of the agency that owned and the company that owned the charter, the Learjet on which Ajit Pawar was flying. Was the aircraft physically fit? Lots of questions being raised because in 2023, one of the aircrafts of the same company had crashed in Mumbai. Until now, we don't quite know what went down because that report was never made public. So lots of questions being asked of the company that owned that Learjet as well. Then there is a parallel line of investigation on what really happened, because the strip in Baramati is not a commercial strip, viewers. It's been used by academies for training purposes and largely used by VVIPs. It's just a 700-meter strip, which is short of what a traditional airstrip is. It's on a tabletop mountain, which anyway makes it difficult, and more so in terms of the apparatus, rudimentary, very, very basic apparatus which is used for landing purposes. And that could in effect also be one of the causes, and it's a matter of investigation. Because till yesterday, there were, private agencies that were being used to handle the operations of the airstrip in Baramati. But after Ajit Pawar's death, because we are going to see a steady influx of VVIPs coming in, which includes even the likes of the Home Minister, the entire airstrip in terms of operation has been handed over to the Air Force. I'm joined right now by my colleague Shreya Chatterjee from Delhi. Shreya, will you get us up to speed in terms of the investigation angle of it?
Well, Preeti, first and foremost, the black box has been recovered. That is a very crucial piece of the entire investigation that will now proceed. We're also being told that the DVR, which was actually part of the tail of the aircraft, has also been recovered. So all these recordings will now be transmitted, analyzed, and then the investigation will proceed. On the line of investigation, DGCA sources have also confirmed to India today that why did the pilot land after he did a take around? Because initially he was not being able to see the runway. Then within seconds, he changed his judgment. So those will be the specific line of investigation. These are top officials of DGCA who are confirming this to us, that the misjudgment of the alignment of the runway could possibly give the key answer on what transpired yesterday that led to the unfortunate demise of Ajit Pawar.
You know, Shreya, there are multiple theories that are being tracked, and hopefully we'll have a larger understanding by the study of the black box. The AAIB is also investigating the matter. But Shreya, you know, these reports take forever. We still do not know what has come out of the Air India crash, which took place last year. And there is no accountability. And there's this opaqueness to all of this. So lots of questions being asked, where even the DGCA is concerned.
Absolutely. Preeti, these are questions that must be answered because transparency should be one of the primary factors of driving a civil aviation industry. When we talk about the transparency, not just the Air India report, remember the 2023 crash report of the same Learjet flight of the same company, that is yet to be finished. So we're already 3 years down the line, that hasn't come. The Air India crash report hasn't come. And these questions, when put forward, they suggest that it's in the last stage of investigation. But probably these need to come out at the earliest. There are a lot of more advisories that needs to be issued by the DGCA. The airfield concerned, Baramati, is an uncontrolled airfield managed by flying clubs. What are the safety parameters that needs to be enhanced? All these things needs to be looked into. Only then will people feel safe to take a flight, because currently the situation is saying a little otherwise, given the transparency factor that is missing from the DGCA.
Shreya, tell us Because right now the DGCA has released the last interaction where the pilots are concerned, and clearly there was something that had gone wrong by the virtue of what has been recorded.
And, because I've spoken with DGCA top officials myself, they very categorically suggest that the misjudgment is something that they are cluing in on. The reason so, the last words were something that expresses that they were unsure of what was happening. Remember the CCTV that has emerged, where we clearly see that the aircraft, after descending at a speed of 100 meters, is actually slipping on the left side. So what the DGCA officials are saying that on the last moment, the pilot must have realized that there was a problem with the realignment of the runway, and he tried to again attempt to go around. And that's when, because the aircraft was at a high speed, he couldn't manage that, and it crashed within seconds. That's the reason there was also no readback, is something that came in that official note from the DGCA. So all these things will be analyzed with the black box data, but we hope that it's also released transparently so that people feel safe to fly in this country.
Shreya, before we let you go, one final question. Along with the fitness of the aircraft, questions being raised where the company that owned the Learjet is concerned, because they clearly have a dodgy history. On the second account, Shreya, the sheer fact where the airstrip in Baramati is concerned, uncontrolled airstrip usually used for training purposes, only for VVIP landings, working with very rudimentary apparatus.
Well, absolutely. These are G-class airstrips, and they also have some parameters and rules that need to be taken into consideration, especially while takeoff and landing, visibility parameters per se. These are not your regular airports which have ILS systems, etc. It's even markings and lights on the runways. So it is something which largely depends on the jurisdiction of the pilot itself. So clearly, what are the enhanced parameters that the DGCA will have to look into and send out advisories? That's something that they will be doing once the investigation is done. So far as the aircraft is concerned, the fitness reports, at least on paper, the technical reports suggest that the airworthiness of the aircraft was up to date, and the medical checks of both the pilots were also up to date. They were all very experienced pilots. Captain Sumit Kapoor flew more than 15,000 hours. Shambhavi Pathak, the co-pilot, she was 1,500 hours. So they were all experienced pilots, but somewhere down the line at the last moment, what the DGCA is right now suggesting, there was a misjudgment. What transpired, it will come out in details shortly.
Shreya, we're going to come right back to you. Thank you for joining us. Viewers, we're going to constantly keep a firm eye on investigations and the various aspects of that.